How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today we're back with another deck profile, some more Masters content, and this time going over the Red OG Beerus. So, yeah, from set 24, you might have seen that they had the new Red Beerus, but I'm more interested in the OG Beerus because some of the cards can actually support this one, and OG Beerus was one of my favorite of the decks going through Masters, and I thought it'd be time to review it and kind of go over it and see what kind of the new stuff adds to it, make it a little bit better. So, remember, you can help out support the channel by liking and subscribing and also commenting down below any suggestions you have for this. And remember, if you click the notification bell, you get alerts to when my videos do drop, so that way you can watch them there and then or at a later date. But for now, we're getting into the video and start off with the leader as well, because we're using Deck Planet being the best and only real deck builder you got for any of the Dragon Ball Super card games. And it's got handy things like this, going to see the leader when you're going into this content, like content creator review. So, this is OG Broly. It's all the way back from... No, sorry, not Broly. Beerus. This is OG Beerus, the OG red one. And all the way back from set 8. So, it's a little bit different and probably a lot as great as you can imagine. But then still pretty good. Because it's Beerus, and then flips over and awakens to Beerus Furious Strike. It goes from a 10k to a 15k when it awakens. And also, it's got the activate main on the front side, meaning you don't have to worry about attacking, so you can still gain value on the front side. But once per turn, you can choose one red or yellow card from your hand and place it in your drop area, and draw 2 cards. Because this is one of the original leads that kind of like had the focus of multicolors, like for each for set 7, 8, and 9, they started having the multicolors. It was where they started being introduced, and you had 2 different color combinations at a time. And set 8 was when we got red, yellow, and blue, green. Yeah, blue, green, and red, yellow. So the red yellow one for this was more of a like on Beerus, like there's the one for the other side, and it just allowed you to sack off a red or yellow card to draw 2. So you don't need to attack, just basically sack off a card from your hand to draw 2, which is really nice. And it is one of the rarest forms of Awakening nowadays format, being when you light 4 or less, you can untap 2 energies, switch into active mode, and flip this card over. So it's the untap 2 one being the more aggressive of the Awakenings, which kind of is really helpful for this, allowing you to basically tap up for a play and untap 2 energy, flip over. Now you kind of want to stay as long as possible you can on the unawakened side for this, so you can keep getting that ditch card to draw 2, which is really handy to set things in the drop, which there are some handy things to have there. And also, when you awaken, that's when you lose your draw. So when you awaken, you lose your draw power, but you gain some good effects. So you've got an activate main once per turn, where you can pay 1 red and 1 yellow energy to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and kill it. So you've got a removal built into the lead. Doesn't ignore a barrier, but that would be insane to do that. But still, 2 energy to pop something. It could be handy if you need to remove something and you don't have any other players. And then you've got the activate battle, which is the main draw to this with the multicolor strategy, being once per turn, once per turn. Choose 1 red, yellow, multicolor card in your drop and combo with it. So it doesn't get you free Z energy, but it's combo with a multicolor from your drop. So you make use of your Z deck a little bit easier by basically having a free combo of each turn. And also be an easy way to trigger your rival because you're just comboing for free a red, yellow, multicolor card. So it's really handy. So it means that if you want to keep a multicolor in your drop, you can combo with your free combo with this, combo another card to kind of get out a bigger swing, and then have the multicolor go to drop, and what you comboed from your hand go to your Z energy, so you can keep having every turn, because it's either player's turn, a free combo of a multicolor. And that is it for lead. There's like not much to go over. Like quite basic compared to other leads nowadays, with like not much text, not as many skills, but still a very handy one. Just getting some good draw on the front side, and then on the awakened side, getting free combos to kill your rivals. So that's the lead. Now we're going to the main deck, and we'll start off with the multicolors. We've got the super combo being Beerus Motivated Destruction. Great super combo for any red deck because it's just one of the only multicolor super combos that actually draws you a card. And because you just basically, as long as you use red or yellow, it doesn't matter what the life total is, you don't have to worry about being a high life or low life to have your super combo live to get out of swings. It allows you to reveal the top card of your deck and that's your hand. And if that card is red, you gain 5k combo power to this card. If it's yellow, you minus 1 your opponent's rest mode battle cards, or rest mode cards by minus 5k for the battle. So potentially you can get either a free 10k combo that draws you a card in a super combo at any life. You can minus something that you're hopefully attacking or being attacked by that's off barrier by 5k. Or if you hit a card that's both red or yellow, multicolor card, you get both benefits of basically getting a 10k top combo plus minus something by 5k, putting a 15k difference between, which is really, really handy. So it's got some really good benefits, and also it's multicolor as well, so it helps with a rival. Then we have one of our rival cards being Beerus Judge of Ruin, and a checkland for the deck, because there's no ability on the lead to kind of ignore energy exhaust. So we've got some checklands, and we've got Beerus Judge Ruin as the best one, because you can do this turn 1, because it just needs, if your leader's a red god, you need to get energy exhausted in all areas. So you can charge this turn 1 without coming in rested to make use of it. And it arrivals for 1 red and 1 yellow, basically, and just comes out and it's double strike and deflect, 25k. And it's got a nice little auto where when it's played, you draw a card, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards. Switch it to rest mode, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and minus it by 20k power for the turn. So you can disrupt potentially 2 swings, bring out a double striker, and also replace itself in hand for a pretty nice card. And it's a 1 cost 10k, so when you combo in this when you lead for free from the drop, it's a nice free 10k, which is very handy. You need 4 copies because it's such a good check land that you're going to want to have it, and it's a very good arrival card as well. Then we got Beerus No Holds Bars. We got 4 of this because this is a really good card, and it's one of the better of the Beeruses, and he has some good, like probably one of the better ones to have in a new Beerus as well, because it's got the same kind of arrival as the Judge of Ruin, but it's the same stats, 25k, but it's a 5 cost instead. Same combo as well, but it's got different skills. So it doesn't have double strike, doesn't have deflect, because I think it's before. I can't remember if it's before deflect or it was back in the times when we just started getting more counterplays. But it's a really good auto where when you play this card, you can choose 1 or 2 effects. You can either choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy with 30k power or less and KO it, so you can potentially pot something mid-battle, which is very handy. Or you got the other effect, which is more useful, which is when this card, you can choose one of your opponent's battle leader cards or battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and that card can't attack or can switch to active mode basically until the end of your opponent's next your next main phase. So that means you can, during your turn, just swing, drop this down, and choose your opponent's leaders in rest mode. You can switch to active mode, so that way they can't have, during their turn, switch to active mode attack with it to get a draw, and you can keep them holding off. And if you keep doing that over and over again, your opponent's going to have a hard time kind of gaining advantage if they're not being able to attack with lead to get the draw or some of their effects on it. So you have 4 copies of this because it's a really good card, and it's a very nice one to keep arrivaling out. Then we have Beerus Divine Destroyer's Advent. So this is another of our arrival cards for Beerus as well, because you can get that free combo every time. And also it serves as another way to combo if you don't have a target, or if you want to use these effect combo. It's another one like the super combo to be able to combo for free, because it's got a permanent where if you've got a red and a multi-card in your energy, you can reduce the combo cost of this card by 1. I mean, you can combo it for free because it's a 1 cost 5k. And it's got a rival, being you either arrival it for 1 red or 1 yellow, as long as you've got a red, yellow, multi-colored card in your combo. And it's got offering as well, which is limit 1. So it's got a nice little offering where your opponent has the option to either crit a life or give you 2 cards. So allow you to draw 2 or crit a life. And it's only limit 1, so you can't spam it over and over again. If you didn't have limit 1, that would be great, because you just do it over and over again to either get a load of cards after you're dropping loads of these, or then crit your opponent for a favor of your life. And it also does come with a handy little auto. Well, when this card attacks, you can choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards for energy cost of 4 or less in rest mode, and that card can't switch to active mode during your opponent's next turn, or to the end of to the end of their next turn, so they can't be able to restand it and attack with it and stuff like that to keep it locked down. It's very handy. So a really nice card. Only 15k for a 4 cost, but that's quite good for its stats and basically just really card overall. And our last overall we've got in the deck is Beerus Unceasing Rage. It's a really nice one because it at least replaces itself similar to Judge of Ruin as well, where when it's played, you can draw a card. Well, you draw a card, then you choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and they get minus 10k power for the turn. So you can minus up to 2 things, kind of either kill things, makes it easier to get out of their attack if they're the ones attacking, and also just replace it off in hand as well. Comes down for a rival for a red yellow for 1 red, and also as a 4 cost 20k, so good stats as well. And it's even got a way to kind of finish games off as well, because it's got activate main for 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 event color energy. So 3 energy with at least 1 being red, 1 being yellow. You can you choose all your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and you give them minus 20k power for the turn. And then this card gains 5k power and triple strike for the turn, meaning you can finish off with a triple striker in this, which is quite handy. So we've got 4 of each of the multi-colored cards, because we've got like a check plan, we've got a good arrival target, we've got a good card that's a rival target plus combo, and we also got another good arrival target that's like a little bit cheaper than Beerus, or the No Holds Barred. So Judge of Ruin could be handy, but mainly you use a check land to get the multicolor energy, and those are the multicolors there. We've then got a way to kind of help us awaken and kind of add an extra bit of minusing, because with red, the whole key gimmick of it is to like reducing power, which is a handy way to get rid of things off board without attacking to them, or make things easy to attack into. And Reese is just a really handy one to help use with the leader's effect, because it's a red card you can ditch to the drop with the leader's effect, draw 2, and it's got an effect that happens in the drop, which is an activate main, where you basically if your leader is a Red Beerus, and you remove this card from you, well, send this card from your drop to the warp, then you get to choose one of your opponents, choose one card, and choose one card in your life and add to your hand. So you choose up to one card in your life and add to your hand, so you don't have to take a life you don't want to. And then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and give it minus 5k power for the turn. So you can make things a little bit weaker, so you can swing into it a little bit easier. And even use this as a way to take life, because remember you got to be at 4 less life to awaken, so it's a handy way to control getting down to 4. Or even take more life if you're going for a game to kind of like get as many cards as possible, and then just go ham on a final kill swing. So you've got 4 copies of this because it's a very handy card. And yeah, it's just a very nice one to beat even this combo, getting his energy, but like a nice one to have him drop. And then we've got 3 copies of Great Priest Gathering Angels. It's a really nice card because it's a good turn 1 play, where when it's played, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add up to 1 multicolored god card from among them to your hand and shuffle your deck. So it helps you find basically all these multicolors here, or it helps you find your either super combo, checkland, or rival targets, which is pretty nice. We've got 3 copies of this, which you can make use of at turn 1 by charging Judge or Ruin, and then playing out this turn 1 to find one of the other ones. So you haven't got many targets, but you got at least here 20 targets. That's a majority, like a big chunk of your deck, at least 2/5 of your deck. So it's got a good amount of targets. But if you feel like you've got a lot already in your hand, but you haven't got too many left to search for, you don't have to use this. But it's a good turn 1 play to help get that consistency going. Then we've got 3 copies of Videl Encounter Danger, because we now got Z-Unison we can play, so you have to worry about putting in a Unison in the deck, so you can free space for other techs, and not worry about having more deck cards or having to draw into the Unison before using this. So considering that, we've got 3 copies of Videl, because it gives them enough to use to kind of see one at least, and with the draw power of the deck, you can kind of see it quite quickly, and just have it around to help with the managing your opponent's board, with minusing things and clearing things. Then we got free Gohan defeating the demon as well. Very handy card. Also very easy to pull off, because since you're going to be able to combo 4 free every turn once you're awakened, you can get that Z energy quite quickly, drop this down and make it cheaper. And it's just a nice way to kind of manage your board by just coming down to this drop as a counterplay. Be able to minus it by 20k and also be a blocker to defend as well, which is very handy. And even a double strike 20k finisher is a pretty handy tool as well. Then we've got some Gohan facing the Android Terror. Another way to help minus down is also help deal with users a little bit easier by minusing the power down to kind of knock markers off. And if your opponent goes quite wide on the board, you can potentially get a double strike out of this as well, an extra 10k, depending, but it's more on the air for like just a battle trick, just mid-battle, just drop this when you're 4 less life, to then minus things off board and make it easier to survive through some swings or control board. Then we got 2 copies of Cell Max and Return of Despair. And this is a really handy card, and very good one for against Ever Red decks as well, because it can come down for 1 energy as long as your opponent's got 3 or more energy for 1, and it basically just, if your leader's red and your opponent has 3 or more energy, you play this out for 1 red energy, but limit 1, so you can only drop 1. And it's a multi-attack as well, because it's a blocker, so it can defend you as well, but it's got a nice little first auto when it's got attacks or activates blocker skill. You switch this card to active mode straight away, and then at the end of the battle, it gets minus 15k power for the turn. So you swing with it 25, restands itself, and at the end of the battle, it then minus itself down to 15 by 15 for until the rest of the turn after the battle is concluded. So it's very handy. So it can survive a little bit easier the first swing, but after that it goes down by 15. And if it does get removed, it's got never auto where this card is KO'd or removed from the battle area by a skill. So either its own skill, any skill anyway. Then you get to choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and minus it by 30k power for the turn. So a very handy way to kind of deal with stuff, but also getting multi-blockers in as well to defend you a little bit easier. Then we've got 2 copies of SS Son Goku, Pan, and SS Trunks Galactic Explorers. This is a very handy one with Unisons. One main thing that Red has with Unisons is like interaction with Unisons is giving markers, and Galactic Explorers is a great way to do it. But also establishing and hiding away a potential good attacker and like finisher as well. It's got 3 activate mains. The main one is the last one, being limit 1. You can choose one of your Unison cards with 1k power or more, and place this card from underneath it from your hand or battle area, and then give a marker to that card. So as a way to give you markers, and then one of the few ways you can really, with outside help, give markers to Z-Unisons, because Z-Unisons can put another copy of themselves underneath them to give more markers. So you can kind of use this as a way to give you Z-Unison more markers. And then once tucked under there, you can use it to kind of play itself out for once you get to 4 energy by using it first activate main by paying 3 red energy where you have 4 more energy to play itself out from underneath the Unison. And then you've got another way to kind of like help control board or even use it as a good way to push by a second activate main, which is once per turn. By knocking 3 markers on Unison with Spirit Boost 3, you can choose all your opponent's battle cards and minus them by 30k power for the turn, and then give this card triple attack. Now, this really only takes away one marker if you use it effectively, because if the Unison has a +1 marker skill, you can use that away to gain markers. After you bring this out, you can use it to knock 3 markers off it. Use a +1 Unison to kind of gain a marker back on it, so you've only lost 2 markers off it. And then after swinging this 3 times, you can then use the effect that activate main again from the last one. Limit 1 to just put itself on the board back under the lead after its attack under the Z-Unison. After its attack 3 times, to give another marker. So you technically brought out, pay 3 markers to make it a triple attack 30k while potentially clearing board. Swinging 3 times, using the Unison to gain back a marker, so you only lost 2, and then use this effect to put it back on the Unison to gain another marker, so you only lost 1 marker, but put a lot of pressure on. So we put 2 copies of this because it's a nice way to kind of keep the Unison around, because the longer you keep it around, the more beneficial it could be. And we've got some good ones in the Z deck as well. Then we've got 3 copies of Bardock the Eliminator. This is another card you can target and discard off the lead. That also can make use of some energy as well, because you can just sack this from your hand with the leader's unawakened side to just draw 2 cards. And what's in the drop, just like we, also has a useful effect by using activate main, paying 1 energy and sending this card from your drop to your warp. You draw a card. So it's a good way to kind of like make use of your energy when you don't have much use for it, be it like offensively or defensively, to kind of just use like some of the ditch from your leader to draw 2, and then use it from the drop to draw cards if you need more cards. So you've got 3 copies, and also if in case you have a multicolored card, they kind of do a rival. You can always have it as a yellow card along with a red card to kind of get our rival shenanigans. Because even then, you can set this card off the drop, so it's in there where it wants to be. While the other card gets to use Z energy for a Z charge. Then we've got an SS4 Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit as a way just to have free removal overall, because you do have drop stuff in your drop, and even the multicolors, but you can always use that before dropping this to make sure you use it off and then sack it off from using energy to pay for stuff after you use the overrun. So as long as you can manage it well, you can make use of overrun without negging yourself and removing things you want. And it's a nice way to get rid of something by being a free 30k attacker as well. And then we've got our secret rare being the Bursting Rage, because with a new Red Beerus deck in set 24, we also come with a Z lead for it as well. And there's no heavy restrictions on the Z lead, so like it can only be used on that new Beerus lead. So we can use it on this new one, and it helps with the arrival shenanigan, and being 20k base Z lead as well can help us kind of survive a little bit better. And being Bursting Rage can be at a really nice 20k extra power to a swing defensively, and put a Z leader on for like a 1 extra turn use during your turn is really handy. And plus it draws your cards whilst it can help you dig through. And remember, with using secret rares, red does have some good ones, but the best ones are really there for one of the best ones is really there for Red Saiyans, while the other one like Vegeta is kind of costly, paying 4 energy, so we want to pay as cheap as possible so we can do other things for our deck. And Burst of Rage being free because it's a 0 cost extra card, while being very good defensively to help you defend, and even go into your Z lead to kind of get out like a temporary use of that and enjoy it. It's quite handy, as well as being a potential floodgate as well. So this being like the Z leader for Beerus gives way to Burst of Rage being a new good secret rare addition for the OG Beerus. And of course we only run 1 because you only run in this game of secret rares because of the ultimate tag. Then we've got 4 copies of Explosive Dance, which is a very handy way, a very good one. Like you can run Nimbus as well, but then Nimbus requires you to ditch yellow cards, which you can. Explosive Dance is just as good as Nimbus and always accessible in red. And since you need to get on 4 less life to awaken, and you awaken on taps 2, you're gonna have the energy for this. Plus, you're also gonna be able to have a you're gonna be able to basically be at the life total for Explosive Dance to be that floodgate as well. So we've got a handy floodgate there to kind of finish out some of the extra cards. With the last one being probably what it is. Being 2 copies of All Might Resistance. Considering we can go in for game with it, like Burst and Rage on a leader, even if it's not double, we can. Don't worry about that. It's like it's not every Z league gets double strike on it, but having a way to like kind of push through with a double strike or triple strike, or even a lead swing when not on life, having a way to counter that, given that counters are kind of limited for like generic ones. Since now Caller's been banned, we've only got access to Almighty Resistance and the blue Baby and also Goku Black ones as just like generic counterplays. Having the edge of having access to that is really handy because it just costs 2 energy, which is not too much, since your leader gives you that energy when it awakens, and just need to be a red leader or discarding yellow card. We've got many being Bardock or one of these multicolored cards. Could even set up a multicolor in your drop ready for leader to basically use it before you burst and rage it as well, and just allows you to force through a kill swing, which we've seen how powerful that could be with yellow decks when they had cooler. So as a deck, try to keep it down to 50 cards because once again we need to be a bit more consistent now that we have a less consistent mulligan, thanks to Bandai changing because they hate us, and just making sure we can have like as much consistency as possible to make full use of our effects and be as best as possible. So now we go on to the Z decks. That's the main deck. Now Z deck, and we've got 10 cards now for Z deck since this upgraded. So you can see we have 9 here, so we've got 1 as a duplicate. So we've got our Z lead, so we've got 1 copy because we don't care if it only comes off temporary from Burst and Rage. You want the good effect from the Awaken side leader to be a free combo of a super combo of a multicolor. So having that there to defend defensively with Burst and Rage is really handy, and just every turn after, so we don't care if we don't stay into this, because even though the Z lead draws and gets 20k, we still lose out on that free combo for rival shenanigans and everything as well. Because 25 is better than 20k technically, and it is a blocker as well, so you can use it defensively the same turn. If you if your leader was left in active mode, you can have this out to block an attack from another battle card and stuff, and just put it into this after using Burst and Rage, and which is not going to come up. But it's more like when it attacks, you draw 1. If you're rival during your turn, while this is on your lead, you also draw a card, and then when you use a multicolored card in a combo after this, while this is on your lead, so not from the leader's effect before you go into this, but after your leaders come out with this, then you get to reduce the arrival cost of a 5-drop Beerus by 1, so making your 5-drop Beerus. I can't remember what it's called now already. It's called the 5-drop Beerus, the good one we got in there, making it so it's a 1 cost rather than a 2 cost is really handy. So, well, for a 1 cost to a 2 cost for arrival is very, very good considering the effect on it. Then we've got 2 copies of the Great Priest Z-Unison, a very good one that can with Weaves, and you can kind of make use of this because if you bring out a multicolored card from arriving and then swing with it, like the little ones, like the 4-drop ones, sometimes they're not as great, being 20k, 15k with not many skills in them. So being able to use those as a way to put them under the Great Priest to just resign it to get some more pressure from this having potentially 2 attacks, 1 being double strike, and then directing things to your lead so you can then combo and protect Unison as well, but also get an extra combo power for rival shenanigans is really handy. And the same with the auto, being able to, if your opponent attacks, be able to use the card from underneath it to combo and then redirect to your lead so you can then combo it a little bit easier and like just protect it. It's really handy. And just giving a +1 means you can, and being a free cost means you can have access to Videl quite easily and gain enough markers. And you can even put Galactic Explorers underneath it just to give it more markers and just keep it around and put a lot of pressure with 2 swings from this and Galactic Explorers as well. Could be very, very good. And we got a copy of SSG Son Goku, Crimson Guardian Deity as well. As a never as a unison to put in, a little bit more costly but just as strong. Being our barrier removal in its -1, minusing something through 25k, and plus being able to swing twice with it, and this being 20k double strike on both swings along with barrier is really cool. Once again, coming in with 4 markers and using the Galactic Explorers to keep it the 4 markers on it by putting it under then put it back out again as well can give a bit of nice pressure, or even having the -2 allow you to wipe your opponent's board by minus your opponent's entire board by 25k, and then be able to give 5k to one of your cards, maybe being your lead. It's very handy to have defensive capabilities and also have board control. So we've got one of those as well. So we only got one of those and 3 of the Great Priest, because Great Priest is easy to come out for free energy and has a +1, whereas the Goku doesn't have a +1, but it has the that barrier removal, which is quite handy. Then we have Oolong Green is good. Once again, we're playing yellow as well as red in here, so we got this as a good way to kind of make use of if we got a big swinger, or if you want to go for it big with something, or a copy something that your opponents have that's big, to go for a bigger swing for 1 energy is very good. Like it's a staple for any deck that has the yellow energy. Rush attack as well, because we potentially accumulate quite a lot of energy, since our leader can basically free combo cards, and then you can bring this out, and then have it back in the drop ready to use again for your lead. So really handy. This is always a good red card depending on how much you can combo. Defender of Life, make it easy to reduce the energy of your opponent, to basically just reduce their life down to make it easier to kill them, and also providing a free, potentially easy barrier double strike swing to try and finish off games. Vegeta being a good barrier removal if we don't want to use Crimson Deity, and if they got something that's more than 25k to minus but through barrier, you got Vegeta here to potentially pop it. Be 2 swings as well, 2 swings for free energy. It's quite nice, also removing anything through barrier, and if that card is in rest mode, you get critical, and this applies some extra pressure. And considering you can combo, free combo with lead, some of these swings are quite good with extra 10k combo for free from your lead behind them. Then we got SS on Goku, an extra way to kind of like keep things locked down, thanks to like Beerus and this to keep things more locked down, and also Sumerish Disruption with its second ability, be a sack off some of your Z energy to make use of Z charging the multicolor and setting it back in your drop ready to use to kind of like disrupt your opponent. And then we've got one copy of the Z extra because you only need one ready, so explosive dance can really be useful. You could put a second one if you feel like you want to change up something. Like you could take out rush attack for a second one of these, just in case you feel like you're going to lose the one, not have another option for it. But it's mainly there for explosive dance. And when you go for game, you can sack it off, pop it, basically put an extra 15k on a swing to finish off. So that is the deck. So if you have any suggestions or anything, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know about what the sessions you have, and I can take it into account because I do love this deck. I want to rebuild it just to get a few of the newer cards and just give it a try and play. So thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.